let's get you more reaction to the allegations that have been made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and I'm joined now by Independent Policing Union of South Africa's Mkhwanazi. Mpho, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at such short notice. Extraordinary allegations, and I think in some what I picked up that came out of there is that the work of the political killings task team in KwaZulu-Natal and elsewhere, including in Gauteng, is being sabotaged. And part of that sabotage goes as high as people in the office of the minister, and perhaps includes communication that may involve the minister himself, along with other unsavory characters, let's call them that for now, and going as far as to accuse the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Shadrack Sibiya, of being a criminal. What have you made of what you've heard in the last hour and a half or so?
Good day, sir. Very disturbing news, very foreign in the rank and file within the South African Police Service. We don't know what has happened to the discipline within this environment, because these are issues which the top brass of the South African Police Service were supposed to have sat around, deal with them, and have the National Commissioner of Police coming out to the public and inform them.
And guys, please, before we conclude this live stream, please hit that like button. Guys, I can see that I already have 50 of you here. Please, guys, let's hit that like button, man. Let's hit that like button.
About the way forward. It is unfortunate now that these issues, which really have evolved around the issue of trust, the issue of discipline, of course, which, if not properly handled, it may simmer down to the ordinary rank and file.
Was there no inkling on your part that there's a general condition of mistrust among the police top brass? We saw recently the arrest of the crime intelligence boss, Dumisani Khumalo, and others, and the provincial commissioner in KZN, Mkhwanazi, alludes to that, the arrest of Mr. Khumalo, the crime intelligence boss. Did none of this give you an inkling that there could be something amiss that's going on within the top brass, the top leadership?
We have always been talking about these issues, and I think, of course, the issue of crime intelligence have always been in the center of the current rift that we see among the leadership of the South African Police Service. And this issue has been coming for quite some time. But look, we are running a national department which has got a duty to ensure safety and security to all the inhabitants of this country. And IPUSA has always been of the view that discipline, regardless of how difficult issues are, discipline, command and control, and following up the prescripts that are there within the service are meant to be followed at all times. But we also want to make a special call to all the wearing factions within the South African Police Service to put the service first and the South Africans, because that is what they are there for. The issues and problems which we have in the South African Police Service, not only at that level, I think from the lower levels as well, they need an urgent attention so that the service is in a position to be able to carry out its constitutional mandate, which is to ensure safety and security to all inhabitants.
So guys, there's been a lot of things, have been said ever since ever since General Mkhwanazi came out with those explosives. A lot of things have been said, and I've been watching people's reaction to everything, and I must say that South Africans are quite pissed off, man. South Africans are quite pissed off, but again, it seems like a lot of people are now shocked, man, because the revelations that General Mkhwanazi has made are actually making people look at politicians very different. They are making people look at politicians very different. And we know that President Ramaphosa has already released a statement saying that everybody must practice restraint. People, you have said enough, everybody must practice restraint. And we are told that he's going to deal with this matter. This is what his Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, said that President Ramaphosa will be here and he's going to deal with these matters. And I remember on the previous video that I made, I spoke about what is it exactly that President Ramaphosa is going to solve. Is he going to solve this thing of General Mkhwanazi going out with this information, or he's actually going to look at these things that have been alleged and solving these issues? Because Fikile Mbalula was very vague to actually tell the people what is it exactly that the president is going to solve. What is it? Because they say that they have full confidence in him, that he can take care of this matter. They have full confidence in him. Then I guess the question that we have as the people of this country is, was Ramaphosa aware of this information? Was Ramaphosa aware of this information? Because I don't think that it would be a wise thing to say that the president was not aware of these things that General Mkhwanazi is alleged. I mean, like, we are used to Ramaphosa saying that I am not aware, I am shocked by these things that South Africans are talking about. But on these issues, if the president comes out and says that, guys, I was not aware that these things were happening in this country, then I think the president needs to resign. I think that would be grounds for us to call for him to resign. Because you cannot tell me that the whole president is not aware of these things that have been alleged. Nobody can actually convince me that the president is not aware. So when Fikile Mbalula comes out and says that they are confident that Ramaphosa is going to solve these issues, when did Ramaphosa know? Or is Ramaphosa clueless about these things? I don't understand. I don't understand. And Joey is asking a question that many people have been asking. Is Ramaphosa going to act on these things that have been alleged? Is the president actually going to take a bold step and do something? Or we're just going to see him initiating the commissions and the investigations and the whole thing goes into thin air? Is Ramaphosa going to act? Him as the president of the country, is he going to say that, guys, now I'm going to act? Now I'm acting. I'm sick and tired of this Mickey Mouse that we've been running there in the South African Police Service. Because again, I think the allegations that General Mkhwanazi has made is that these politicians are in the pockets of these people that are committing crimes. So if the president does not act, or if people don't see any consequences, then the people will say that General Mkhwanazi was right. And the government cannot afford that. They cannot afford the people saying that General Mkhwanazi was right, that you guys are working for the drug lords. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. So the only way for these people to actually save face is to admit. Because if they don't admit, then the public will say, we told you. We told you. Seriously, guys, can you just imagine a scenario where the president says that, I don't know that these things were happening in this country? I cannot actually see how is that going to work out well for Ramaphosa. Man, this has been very explosive. I must say that this has been very explosive. And guys, keep sending those messages. I'm going to read each and every comment that you make today, guys. I'm going to read everything. And I know that it's been a long time since I done a live stream, and I think I should do more of these. Guys. Press 1 if you think I should do more live streams. Press 1. And press 2 if you think that these live streams are horrible and you don't want to see them anymore. 1 for yes, 2 for no.
So how should we respond, just generally as South Africans, but also those in the leadership of the state? What should be the immediate response to some of what Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi has said? These are serious allegations of sabotage of the work of the political killings task team, allegations that, there's communication between officials and the minister and elements outside of the state, malign forces outside of the state. With the crime situation that we face, what should be the immediate reaction? Do you believe that the allegations as made deserve a thorough-going investigation?
Look, the conduct of the police must be beyond reproach, and no one must doubt what we do. And now that these issues are in the public space, we expect the National Commission of Police, and we say this because we said this even last week when crime intelligence officials were taken to task for their misconduct. We wanted the National Commission of Police to come to the public, straight to the public, and inform them that things are well. And if he does not say anything about this, then the issues that the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal has raised, it means they will stand. Now, we need to be led. The South African Police Service needs to be rescued from these mudslinging attacks. And the only person who can do this is the National Commission of Police. We want to see him out in the space and come back and inform the public that the South African Police, there's no crisis in the police. But if he does not say anything, then the public are going to have a very serious problem with policing. Remember, Sizwe, every day police officers are knocking at our doors. And we believe that our police officers are not criminals. We are being stopped on the road every day, and we believe that the people who are stopping us on the road are police officials. But if we take what General Mkhwanazi has said now, would you blame the public if they start repelling against good policing in our country, refusing to open doors for proper searches, and even refusing to be stopped on the road by these police officers?
And guys, let's be honest, man. We know for a very long time that the South African Police Service as an institution, it has been broken for a very long time. The South African Police Service as an institution, it has been broken for a very long time. So I don't know what some of these people that are speaking on behalf of the government, I don't know what's on their mind when they go on national television and try to pretend like the South African Police Service is this respected institution that is working for the people of this country. I mean, if you were to speak with the average South Africans and ask them about their experience with the South African Police Service, the things that people will tell you will actually shock you. They will shock you. This institution, it has been broken. And let's be honest, guys, some of these things that have been alleged by General Mkhwanazi, some of the things are things that people have been saying for a very long time, that we think that the South African Police Service is working with these criminals. This is what people have been saying for a very long time. And you need to understand, with us as the public, we don't have the evidence, but we can allege that these people are working with these criminal indicates because we can see the criminals doing as they please, especially if you have money in this country. If you have money in this country, it has been proven that you can do everything that you want and there is no accountability for you. There is no accountability for you. And I know that many of us are actually wishing to see some sort of accountability on this matter. Many of us actually want something to be done. But if we are being practical about where we have been living, guys, this is South Africa. If we are practical, we know that there is not going to be any accountability. There won't be any accountability. There won't be. I think as South Africans, we are just looking at this moment to try to see if these people, man, will have some conscience to actually do what is right. I think this is what South Africans are actually yearning for. I think this is what South Africans are yearning for, to look at the government, to say that, okay, guys, we understand that you guys are always messing up. But right now, we are begging you to do what is right. And this is what people want. This is what people want. And unfortunately, I think that the people are going to be disappointed. I honestly believe that the people are going to be disappointed. I don't think that this thing is going to turn out how we are expecting it to turn out. I don't think that we are going to see the results that we want. Because we know that we have Ramaphosa as the president of this country. And Ramaphosa has been the president of this country for many years. And he hasn't been able to take any bold steps on anything. He hasn't been able to do that. The only time Ramaphosa actually took a bold step, it was when he was firing that Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Andrew Whitfield. This is the only time we actually saw Ramaphosa saying that I am firing you and I'm not even going to explain why I'm firing you. I'm the president of this country, deal with it. It was the only time we actually saw some sort of maybe smallanyana cojones of the president. But when it comes to his cadres, his comrades, and they're actually taking action against these people that he vowed to take action about, because you remember when the president came in, everybody was happy that finally we have a president that is not that much aligned with these politicians. We have a president that already has his own money. So it means that this guy is not going to be beholden to the ANC. It means that this guy is not going to serve on the behest of the ANC. Of course, he represents the ANC, but we think that he can think for himself. He can actually do things for himself. But no. Ramaphosa just proved to be one of those ANC cadres. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think right now we are asking the president to actually act on something that many of us know that he cannot act on. We know that he cannot act on. You know, if these allegations, man, were made against some DA members, man, the president would have fired the people from overseas, man. We would have gotten the letters from overseas saying that you guys are fired. But to sit here and actually expect an ANC president to actually take action against the ANC comrades, I know, guys, sometimes I think that we want too much from these people because they have actually proven that they are incapable of giving us what we want. They have proven that they are incapable of that. They have proven. It's almost as if we are just waiting to be disappointed again, because deep down in our hearts, guys, we know that we are going to be disappointed. We know that we are going to be disappointed. And I think this is what actually hurts, knowing that we are going to be disappointed, but at the same time, expecting something positive to come out of this thing. I think what these people are actually going to do is that they are going to fire Mkhwanazi and say that, no, you are no longer part of the South African Police Service. You are talking a lot, man. You are telling the people about the life that they do not even think exist. I mean, like some of the things that General Mkhwanazi was saying, like, we see these things in movies, man. I mean, like, now I can say that Hollywood is real. Hollywood is real. Because these things that General Mkhwanazi is speaking about, man, these, like, it's almost as if these things, they come out of a movie script. It's almost as if they come out of a movie script. I mean, like, why should he do something, guys? Like, you remember the Zondo Commission? You remember the Zondo Commission? And people are actually thinking that the president was going to do something about the Zondo Commission. Like some of the comrades that have been alleged, that have been exposed on television. That some of the comrades that have been exposed on television, they are working with the president. They are working with him every day. They are there, Mr. President. Buffalo, Cupcake, Nda. They are there. They are there, working for him. They are there, working for him. They are there. And I think we also have to go back to the people that have voted for the ANC, man. You know, like the ANC supporters, man, they need to understand what they have actually done. I don't think that the ANC supporters actually appreciate the gravity of what they have done. I don't think they understand. I think they just go to the polls and vote and just continue with their lives. I think so. I think so. But what these people have actually put us into, man, it is a mess. It is a mess. And right now, it is sad because when you look at this country and when you look at the fact that there are more political parties that are being formed and people are being divided, because the South African politicians have actually realized that in this country, South Africans, they don't care about the policies. The people of this country, they don't give a damn about the policies. They love their politicians, they love their political parties, and they will stand with those people. So everybody who can sit down and say that, man, you know, like South Africans actually love me, man. South Africans love me. Let me go out and start a political party. That person has 90% chances of actually winning. He has 90% chances of succeeding. Because they realize that in this country, we don't care about the policies. We don't care about where the country is. We don't care about the state of our nation. In the words of Mike Sherm, we don't care about the state of our nation. We don't. But we care about the politicians. We care about the political parties. So they're going to go out and divide us more, because the more we are divided, the easier it is for them to conquer us. Because when you look at these people are friends. Here on the bottom, we are divided because you guys are the ANC supporters, you guys are the EFF supporters, you are the MK party supporters, you are the IFP supporters, and you guys don't get along. But the people that are running these institutions, they actually get along. They work together, they are there in parliament, they are rich, they are multimillionaires, and they get along together. They get along together. And what about us as the people on the ground? We are divided because we have actually allowed a couple of idiots to start political parties and actually divide us as the people of this country. This is why I am so disappointed sometimes. This is why I am so disappointed as South Africans. That we can be played over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. South African politicians are one-trick ponies. Once you see the strategy of South African politicians, you can see all of their strategies. They are one-trick ponies. So why are we allowing the politicians to actually divide us? And the politicians in this country, they have actually managed to force us to focus on these political matters, not the country. We are focusing on the political matters. We are focusing on what Jacob Zuma said about who. We are focusing on what Cyril Ramaphosa said about who. We are focusing on that. But we are not paying attention to our country. That's why I'm saying that it is so sad when you look at this situation, because you see the people divided. You see the people literally hating each other. Hating each other. Saying that I hate that person because that person voted for a different political party. I hate that person. This is who we have become as the people of this country. Bunch of haters. We hate each other. We don't even want to work well together. We don't even want to work with each other because we have allowed the politicians to divide us. The same people that are friends. These people are friends, but we allow the politicians. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. And I know that a couple of mainstream media houses, they've actually asked a very simple question. What do you think the president should do? And this is what I want us to actually focus on. Some of the responses that is coming from the people about what the president should do about these allegations that have been made by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. What action should President Ramaphosa take following Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's allegations? This is a question that was posed by the SABC on social media, that what actions should President Ramaphosa take following Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's allegations? So I want us to go through a couple of comments to see what people are actually feeling about this whole situation. So on top, you can see Build One South Africa. Build One South Africa, they say that we have released a full statement. But guys, do we actually want to get through the whole statement? Should we go through the whole statement of Build One South Africa? Guys, please tell me if you think we should go through the statement of Build One South Africa, or should we just read what has been posted here? What should we do, guys? What should we do? Okay, we will go back to the comment of Build One South Africa while you guys are answering me and thinking we should go through the whole statement. But I don't think we should go through the whole statement, because I'm going to play you a clip where Mkhwanazi is responding to these allegations that have been made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. So, Build One South Africa calls on President Ramaphosa to establish an SIU investigation following the explosive revelations by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. So, Build One South Africa is saying that Ramaphosa must establish an SIU investigation. So, I think this is what actually frustrates South Africans about the fact that, okay, we understand that the president cannot just come out and saying that Senzo Mkhunu, you are fired. What General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has said about you, it's unprecedented, and you are fired. I know many people are actually expecting the president to do that. We would actually like it to see if the president would actually do that. But we know that this is their route that they are going to take, that no, we are going to establish an investigation. We are going to establish a commission that is going to deal with these matters. And when you sit down and think about what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has basically said, that these people are actually controlled by these drug lords. So even that SIU investigation is going to be tampered with. Even the whole commission, the president can say that, guys, since we are in the mood to waste money in this country, we are going to waste 700 million rands on that talk shop that we call the National Dialogue. So how about we throw another 1 billion into the South African Police Service Commission and try to understand what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was speaking about. I think this thing is going to frustrate the people because the people somehow they are expecting the president to act immediately. This is what people want. They want the president to react immediately. So Build One South Africa says that we can't. The president must establish an SIU investigation following explosive revelations made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Build One South Africa is disturbed by the string of weighty revelations made by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi at a press conference yesterday. Of particular concern is General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's claim that the task team appointed to investigate the police killings was deliberately sabotaged from within the South African Police Service. If true, this fundamentally undermines the integrity of our criminal justice institutions and threatens public safety. This is what Build One South Africa is saying. Build One South Africa is saying. So, Relebohile says that I commend President Ramaphosa order to an immediate independent investigation into Mkhwanazi's allegations to restore public trust and uphold justice. Sandile says that suspension, independent investigation, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi becomes the next deputy or the national commissioner. Do you think that these people can actually allow a situation where General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi becomes the national commissioner? I don't think so, man. I don't think so, man. General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is a lion. It's a lion. And I think that many of these people in the government, they actually hate him. I don't think that they like General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi because now you have this guy that is exposing the rot that is happening inside the South African Police institution. He's exposing the rot. So I don't think that the comrades are actually fond of him. I actually don't think so. I don't think the comrades are in front of him. I think even if the president would actually try to say, okay, guys, we are going to appoint the General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as the national commissioner, I think there will be a lot of pushback within the ANC. I don't think that the comrades will love it. I don't think so. So Moses says that fire minister and all who are implicated in general's findings and make the general minister of police. Like I said, guys, I don't think so, man. I don't think that and these people have an appetite of actually doing that. Because if the general can expose something as the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, can you just imagine if this guy actually becomes the Minister of Police or something, or the National Commissioner? Can you just imagine? It would be hell for these people. It would be hell. It would be hell. So I don't think the comrades would actually allow that. I don't think the comrades would allow that. He must fire both Senzo and Sibiya. Sipa says that suspend the minister and deputy commissioner and allow the investigation to take place without their influence. And William says that he must fire the minister of police. It is that simple. This is what William say that the president must do. The president must fire the minister of police immediately. It's that simple. And by the way, I don't think that Ramaphosa can fire Senzo Mkhunu, man. You remember Senzo Mkhunu is the one that came out and told us that the findings of Phala will remain sealed. They're saying that no, we are not going to release any findings into Phala. So I guess at this point is you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Ramaphosa, I scratched your back about the Phala. I sealed this thing despite the people coming down on me like a ton of bricks, forcing me and telling me that I should expose the findings of the Phala, but still I sealed the findings of Phala. So right now, Ramaphosa, it's your time to scratch my back. I think this is how Senzo Mkhunu is thinking. I think this is how Senzo Mkhunu is thinking. Because if they fire him and actually throw him under the bus, I think this guy can potentially become the next Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and coming with the revelations of more explosive things that are happening in the government. So they're going to have to make sure that Senzo Mkhunu is fine. I don't think that anybody can be fired at this point, because if you fire somebody, they go out, they are now disgruntled and they are speaking out and they are taking the side of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. So that's why right now they are talking about the order, man. They should be order. You guys should practice restraint. Don't say anything. You guys, like, you have done enough damage. You have done enough damage. But I think if anybody is fired, more is coming. Because clearly there has to be more. I don't think what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi said, like it is there. Like I think it still has more information. I don't think a guy would actually go out with all of his information. I think he just gave us maybe something like 7%. of the Jews there in the South African Police Service. I don't think that he has actually given us a lot. I think there's more. I actually think there's more, man. With the comrades, you must expect things. You must expect things like that. I actually think that there's more. So this guy over, I cannot pronounce this name. He says that President Ramaphosa of Palapala, you are brave to think that he will take action. It should be a crime to put both action and Ramaphosa in a sentence. Oh my goodness. He says that it should be a crime to put both Ramaphosa and the action in the same sentence. I'm like, this is the kind of a president that he has been, man. He has been a very slow acting president, man. He has not been a president that actually inspires confidence, man. No, not at all. Not at all. And thinking about how these people actually sold Ramaphosa to us, and we fell for that, man. Like, man, we are gullible as the people of this country, man. We are honestly gullible. And Nadia says that he must fire Mkhwanazi, declare a public holiday, and pretend to be shocked. Uncle German says that you must fire Mkhunu and promote General Mkhwanazi. And the author says that remove Mkhunu, Sibiya, and everybody implicated, arrest and investigate while they are in jail, deny them bail. Nogo says that the Commission of Inquiry, man, the Commission of Inquiry, we know how the commissions of inquiry are going down in this country, man. So Naya says that General Mkhwanazi work ethic has stolen our hearts. We are fully behind him, come rain or shine. We as the country will rise up should Cyril Ramaphosa not support him. And these are some of the threats. I think, I don't, is it a threat? This is what the people have been saying, that if Ramaphosa fires Mkhwanazi, then we are taking it to the streets. If the president says that this guy is fired for running his mouth about the affairs of the South African Police Service, then we are taking to the streets. And right now, they are saying that if Ramaphosa does not act, still, we are taking action. We are taking action. I feel like the general has actually put them in a very tight spot. He has actually put them in a very tight spot. So AMM says that he must sack Senzo Mkhunu and Sibiya, then he needs to have a one-on-one with General Mkhwanazi. Why? Because as South African citizens, we believe in him. But this is almost saying like President Ramaphosa is not aware of what is happening and he needs General Mkhwanazi to actually break down to him what is happening. And I don't want to lie. I don't want to believe that the president is not aware of these things that are happening in the country. I don't want to lie. If the politicians in parliament can actually work with these criminal syndicates, I mean, like clearly these people have power. And if the people in parliament can be aware of these things that are happening, then clearly the president of this country and the executive, they are aware of these issues. They are aware of this issue. I think this is the reason why it's going to be very interesting to see how Ramaphosa is going to act on these things. It's going to be very interesting. Tabiso says that fire and get people arrested, not a rocket science. He says that this is not a rocket science. Just fire the people. Just fire the people. Umkhonto says that if Ramaphosa fails to act decisively, history will not remember him as a reformer, but as the man who knew the state was bleeding and chose to bandage the optics instead of treating the wound. This moment will either be his legacy or an indictment. I think that Ramaphosa's presidency, it's his indictment. Already, I think that his presidency, it's his indictment. I think so. But maybe on this one issue, man, maybe, just maybe on this one issue, the president can actually do something. So Patriotic says that the incompetent president has already been told what to do and say by Paul O'Sovilian and corrupt cadres. He might repeat what he already said, but we hope he suspends Minister Mkhunu and that he do the right thing. They say that he's an incompetent president. So Tola says that suspect Mkhunu and Sibiya. Nduna says that Mkhwanazi said he working with the private securities. The private securities don't want the police minister because he minimizes their power, especially when it comes to ownership of the firearms. That info contains security and intelligence. Tumelo says that let him honestly use the unbiased eyes, look at the tangible evidence brought to him by all parties and do the right thing, which will satisfy his party and confidence by the majority of the good citizens of South Africa. Like I said, guys, I think that we are asking too much of Ramaphosa. Honestly, I think that we are asking too much of Ramaphosa, and I don't think that he's going to do any of these things that we are asking him to do.
If everything that General Mkhwanazi said yesterday bears out, right? If what he revealed, he has launched a criminal investigation into the Minister of Police. Now tell me, what else could define lawlessness than that? The head of the police in one of our 9 provinces has essentially begun a criminal investigation into the Minister of Police, whom he says is controlled by drug cartels and powerful business people. And he says there's a whole network that's involved in this, including the judiciary. The president absolutely has to respond. He's currently in Brazil for a leaders' summit of the BRICS nations, and he says the matter is being given high priority attention. Do you buy it? This president? We had a justice minister who was heavily implicated in the VBS matter, even on her own version. Even on her own version, she didn't deny receiving the monies. She said she paid it back, but she didn't deny receiving the money. And she was the justice minister. And when there was enough of an uproar, he simply moved her to a different department.
Of course, this is how the ANC operates. In the ANC, when you are corrupt, you are not punished. You are not punished in the ANC if you are corrupt. No, the ANC does not punish people who are corrupt. The ANC awards you with a different position. The ANC awards you with a higher position. This is how the ANC operates. That's why I'm saying we are asking, sometimes I think that we are asking too much from the people that have already shown us who they are. We are asking so much from President Ramaphosa. And shout out to Bongani Bingwa for actually reminding me of that issue of Tembis Milan. And this lady literally getting the money from VBS and going to Sentin and open a, I don't know if it's a bar or a restaurant, and saying that yes, I received the money. And there was an outrage, people saying that how can this lady be the Minister of Justice? How it can be like he just moved her, he just moved her. So I think even in the South African Police Service, they are just going to be reshuffled. You're no longer gonna be. You're gonna be here. You're gonna be here, and we think that you're gonna be here. But none of you are going to be fired. None of you are going to be fired. We are expecting too much.
We've now, of late, been talking about the Minister of Higher Education and Training. Who, come on, you saw it, you heard it. Gave, what did the politicians say? When one of them was being pressed, did the minister lie to Parliament? He kept on insisting, no, the information she said and the information she submitted in writing was contradictory. That's as far as they would go. And then, of course, you saw the ANC acting and speaking in defense of her last week following her budget vote. So, you have any confidence then that this president is going to act on these allegations? And don't forget, there is a succession race that is already underway. Senzo Mchunu is one of the names.
Okay, what am I doing, Manj?
Mkhwanazi said, who, come on, you saw it, you heard it. Gave, what did the politicians say? When one of them was being pressed, did the minister lie to Parliament? He kept on insisting, no, the information she said and the information she submitted in writing was contradictory. That's as far as they would go. And then, of course, you saw the ANC acting and speaking in defense of her last week following her budget vote. So, you have any confidence then that this president is going to act on these allegations. And don't forget, there is a succession race that is already underway. Senzo Mkhunu is one of the names that is in the hat for succeeding President Cyril Ramaphosa, right? Is one of the names that is being considered. And so, is it all coincidence that last week we were telling you about, remember last week's papers were reporting, last weekend's papers I should rather say, were reporting about the imminent arrest of the National Police Commissioner. This is the country's top cop. Remember that? That's what we were talking about last week. We then told you the week before that the head of crime intelligence is out on bail. The head of crime intelligence in Gauteng is out on bail. Do you see the murky picture that is beginning to emerge about our law enforcement? And all the drug cartels, the criminal underlords, are high-fiving each other, doing ipam jive, because they're just so happy, because no one is paying attention to them, are they?
Of course. So what do you think, guys? What do you think Ramaphosa is going to do, guys? What do you think Ramaphosa is going to do? What do you think Ramaphosa is going to do? You, as the people that are watching, what do you think Ramaphosa is going to do? What do you think that he's going to do? It's bad, man. It's really bad.
What do you think is behind this open war in the SAPS? I have some thoughts that I'll share with you about that. I really, really seriously think that General Mkhwanazi probably was responding to something that was imminent. Was there perhaps an imminent arrest and he needed to come out and say boldly what he believes is at play here? But he makes some serious allegations that have to be investigated ASAP. So let's talk about that. Let me know what you think is going on here. You can give me a call or send me a WhatsApp voice note. Did you watch the British Grand Prix yesterday? I enjoyed it. I'm glad that it actually rained because...
And guys, please, man, please, I appreciate the fact that many of you are watching. I can see that it's like 700 of us guys are watching here. Please hit that like button, guys. I want us to get this live stream out. So please help the channel by hitting the like button. Please, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button.
It gave us some action as Formula One fans. Lots of mistakes being made, like all the time whenever it rains, but also lots of skills being demonstrated by experienced drivers. So it was such a fascinating race. I was disappointed though, I must say, that a call wasn't made for Lando Norris to allow Oscar Piastri to lap him, because that 10-second penalty that Oscar Piastri was sanctioned was wild. They said it's for erratic driving behind a safety car, but 10 seconds? As a result, he lost his number one position. I mean, he was leading so comfortably. Did you enjoy the race? What stood out for you? 011-883-0702. Your WhatsApp's on 0727021702. And can you believe it? The Clement Manyatela show is now officially 5 years old. How hectic is that? Yesterday marked 5 years since the inception of this show, and it's been so wonderful being in your company and really doing this live thing with you, because it really is that.
So guys, let me go through some of the comments that you have made before we actually go forward with these things, because now I'm realizing that some of the comments are disappearing and I don't know what is happening here. So I'm trying to see if I can reveal all the comments, because I wanted to read the comments from the top, but it seems like this thing is now only allowing me to do the comments from where it wants. So I'm trying to see if I can get the comments from the top.
I think we've managed to touch lives as the show. We have helped people heal. We have informed. We have found people jobs. We've made enemies. We've made friends. We've won awards. We've done it all. And it's been so much fun. And thank you for walking the talk with us over the last 5 years. I think we have the best of the best on this show, and I can't wait for what else we are still going to experience together. So happy 5th birthday to the Clement Manyatela show. At 10 o'clock, we're going to try and break it down for you. This war in the SAPS. It's not a coincidence that the police's top brass are throwing allegations at each other. It's not a coincidence that they're laying criminal charges against each other. But I want you to understand the link these individuals that General Mkhwanazi has mentioned, like Brown Bukhotsi and Vusmuzi Matlala, the links they have to the police minister and the deputy commissioner Shadrack Sibiya. What do we know about these individuals, and how much of this war has everything to do with the race to be the next police commissioner? Hey? That's what we're going to be looking at 10 o'clock. 10:30, we're going to start a new series today. I'm really excited about this series. We're going to spend the next few weeks looking at successful land restitution cases. We need to understand our history in as far as land disposition is concerned. And we need to understand the resilience and fighting spirit of communities that have been dispossessed of their land, that ultimately got their land back and transformed it into a source of pride and empowerment. And I know we often criticize government for the slow land restitution program, but that doesn't mean that there are no pockets of success.
So guys, we're going to start with the comments, and I will read the comments that I can find here. And guys, please, if I am not able to read your comment, don't take it as me hating you guys. You know that I love all of you guys. Like, I think that right now it is a fact that I love all of you guys. So if I don't read your comment, don't take it as Thomas trying to be spiteful towards me. Like, I would love to read everybody's comments. So Cosman says that Senzo must just go. They are saying that the Minister of Police must just go. Monica says that well done, General Ntantla Mkhwanazi. And Christo de Beer says that Thomas, it will be interesting to see who is going to throw who under the bus. Because it seems like this is what the comrades are going to do right now. They are going to look at how they are going to throw each other under the bus. So this is what Christo de Beer says, that it's going to be very interesting. We're going to be sitting here with our popcorns and watching this movie as it unfolds. We're going to watch this thing as it unfolds. So Mona Maple says that Ramaphosa in the presidency saying he is going to clean up, but he is too weak. You can see his strings are being pulled. I mean, like, Ramaphosa is very weak, man. He's very weak as the president, and I don't appreciate having a weak president. As a South African citizen that is living in a country that actually requires people who are strong, especially the people in leadership in leadership positions, I do not appreciate having a weak president. I actually do not appreciate that, because when you look at the country, when you look at the things that the people of this country are dealing with, when you look at everything wrong that is happening in this country, you can see that this country actually needs people like General Ntantla Mkhwanazi, the people who can come out and act. But now we have the politicians that are just selling us the statements. This is why it is so frustrating, especially when we were talking about that issue of the illegal immigrants crowding the public healthcare facilities. You can see that the government and the mainstream media and the NGOs, they are just feeding the people the statements. They don't want to acknowledge that this is what the people are going through. The people on the ground are struggling to get healthcare because now they are in lines with the people that are not even supposed to be in this country to begin with. And the government and these NGOs, they are saying that, no, you guys are just a bunch of crybabies and you guys are xenophobes. You must allow these people to come and get a healthcare. And you, if it means that you're going to stand in line, just stand in line. Just stand in line. It is so frustrating. So frustrating. So I don't think that Ramaphosa is, even if there's someone who wants to clean up the mess that is happening, I don't think it can be Ramaphosa. I have lost total confidence in Ramaphosa as the president of the country. I have totally given up on him at this point. And the people that are voting for him, I have totally given up on them. I have. So Vasi says that, so now Ramaphosa is going to get caught for the Palapala. Ramaphosa is going to get caught for the Palapala if he fires Senzo Mkhunu. I don't think that Senzo Mkhunu can go down without a fight. I think before he goes, he will just unseal the findings of Palapala and allow the public to do as they please with the president. to do as they want with the president. Elvis Maluleke says that why do people still vote for parties with a lot of skeletons? I mean, like South Africans, like this is how South Africans are. South Africans are like that. South Africans are like that, man. It is so sad, but it is the truth. This is how South Africans are. They love their politicians. They love their political parties. They don't care. They don't care. I mean, like right now, in 2024, we saw millions and millions of people voting for Jacob Zuma and the MK Party. Voting for Jacob Zuma and the MK Party and practically wanting Jacob Zuma to come back as the president of this country. Saying that we want this guy to be the president of the country. And you have a political party that was formed by Jacob Zuma as the third biggest political party in this country. I mean, like you look at the ANC, you look at the EFF, you look at Mkhwanazi party. Like these political parties, they represent one thing. And if you take their votes together, they still make up to 60%. So I'm happy that whatever that is happening between those political parties, it is happening because if the leaders of those political parties can say that, guys, let's just put our differences aside and work together, this countryman, is done. It's done because they have over 60% as political parties that actually represent one ideology. So Lloyd says that this is why the gravy train keeps running. You can replace ANC leader, but the road is too deep. You either join or get booted but the corruption continues. This is why the gravy trains keeps running. You can replace the ANC, but the road runs deep. You either join or get booted, but the corruption continues. And this is what we have seen with these comrades. This is what we have seen, that it doesn't matter who comes into the office, but the corruption continues. And I think the prime example is President Ramaphosa. The fact that he came after Jacob Zuma, and Jacob Zuma was like a comrade, a real comrade. And they didn't see Ramaphosa as the real comrade. And the people thought that Ramaphosa was going to bring change. But no, the road inside the African National Congress is too deep. So there's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. So is that Tsepiso says that General is our Ibrahim Traore. They say that General Mkhwanazi is the Ibrahim Traore. Truly says that something that no one wants to talk about. Did you guys know that Mandela was trained by Israel? Look up David Mosbari. I know that this is kind of off topic, but thanks for the comment, man. Vusi says that we have seen this movie before, Jackie Silibi and Glenn Agliot. Byron Jerome says that the street is calling. Julie says that, please, are you spamming here too? Oh, guys, please don't fight. Please don't fight. Africa is King says that what action? Dancing and singing outside during work hours. We can't even boycott PEP. Says that they can't even boycott PEP. There's no action that is going to be taken. There's no that is going to be taken. So Klopp says that glad to see someone is speaking out against the gangsters called the ANC. Blue Collar says that the president would have fired the members of the DA from overseas. Of course, man. Of course, if this thing had anything to do with the DA, man, all of those people in the DA, they would have been fired. They would have been fired. So Julie says that what's happening in our country, ATM is more important than the crap you are spewing at the... Oh, guys, please don't fight. Please don't fight. I'm going to skip your comments because it seems like you guys are fighting. So Sizakele says that Kunzima, guys, we are in deep trouble if what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is speaking about is truth. We are in deep trouble. In deep trouble. And Africa is King says that President Ramaphosa is always traveling on red carpets. Man. He's always working on red carpets as if this country, man, is a successful country. It's always there. Traveling. Now Muta says that Ramaphosa is not going to do anything. He is the problem. He's not going to do anything. He is the problem. And the Spare says that the question remains, are you free or are you dumb? Because it seems that you are. Trick is simple. Keep them drunk on freebies and milk it, Baba. So guys, these are some of your comments. And please keep the comments coming, guys. And hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button. So the EFF has came out swinging at the ANC. They are saying that the ANC is not enabling the syndicates. It is the syndicate. The ANC, it is not enabling the syndicates. It is the syndicate. This is what a member of parliament of the EFF, Sinawatambo, is saying about the African National Congress. So on this article, he says that the disturbing revelations made by KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Police Commissioner Lieutenant Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi recently have once again confirmed what the Economic Freedom Fighters has long warned this country about. South Africa is not under threat from the criminals hiding from the law. The real danger comes from the criminals inside the state. The ruling African National Congress does not merely turn a blind eye to criminal syndicates. It is the syndicate. And the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, has now been directly implicated as one of its key protectors. Commissioner Mkhwanazi's briefing laid bare the collapse of law enforcement under the ANC rule. He detailed how the highly effective political killings task team responsible for the prosecuting of over 600 politically motivated cases and recovering weapons tied to political assassinations was actively dismantled by the political instruction, not because it has failed, but because it succeeded too well. And this is what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi also alluded to yesterday when he was speaking about this task team, to say that, guys, us starting this task team actually made people to push back on whatever that we were doing, because it seems like we were exposing a lot in Gauteng. He says that they were exposing a lot in Gauteng. So the article continues to say that the task team's investigation began uncovering links between organized crimes and senior government officials, exposing a vast criminal work involving drug cartels, corrupt police officers, members of the judiciary, business elites, and political figures. Rather than receiving support for his work, Mkhwanazi has been targeted, discredited, and politically isolated. We have heard what the ANC has said. We have heard what the ANC has said. Fikile Mbalula has already came out. And the ANC Youth League president, that one basically attacked General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to say that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is a populist. This is what the African National Congress has basically said. What he revealed was damning. Minister Mchunu, through Deputy National Commissioner Sibiya, allegedly ordered the withdrawal of over 120 sensitive case dockets and orchestrated the disbandment of the entire task team, undermining years of critical investigative work. These instructions are said to have come without authority from either the national or provincial commissioners and coincided with the exposure of individuals linked to criminal syndicates who were also deeply connected to the ANC. It has emerged that Vusimusi Ket Matlala, a businessman facing serious charges, held over 360 million rands in South African Police Service contracts and was simultaneously funding political activities of Mchunu and his associate Brown Mkhwanazi, as well as many ANC-aligned political events. This should not surprise any South Africans. The ANC, since its near defeat of 2024, has shed any previous pretense of governing for the people. It is an organization desperate to destroy loyalists into the state institutions because its electoral declines means less seats in parliament and in cabinet. It is for this reason that the ANC has gone unhinged and into deep cadre deployment frenzy. It has now fully transformed into a mafia network that loots, recycles, and protects its own. This is evident not only in Mkhunu's alleged sabotage of the South African Police Service, but across the appointments and patronage-based deployments we have seen in the year alone. It has become characteristic of every government department at the behest of the ANC and its ministers. That is the truth. Take, for example, the recent appointment of former Gauteng Premier David Makhura as a non-executive director of the Development Bank of Southern Africa. This is the same Makhura who presided over and was fined liable for infamous 42.8 million PPE looting during the COVID-19 pandemic and who failed dismally to combat corruption in his administration. Now, instead of being prosecuted, he is rewarded with a seat on one of the country's key development financial institutions, where he will have influence over billions of rands in funding and infrastructure projects. This is the ANC's idea of accountability, recycling future into the privilege. Guys, we have already spoken about how the ANC actually deals with the people that have been accused of doing the wrong things. They just give you an even higher position. I mean, can you just imagine how nice it is to be in the ANC? Because when you are in the ANC, when you commit crimes, you are given an even higher position. It's not like you are being punished for the crime that you have been accused of, but you are given an even higher position. This is the African National Congress for you. At the Industrial Development Corporation, the pattern continues. Two ANC stalwarts, a former Minister of State Security, Ayanda Dlodlo, and the former Premier of KZN, Nomusa Dube Ngube, were appointed to the board. These are not individuals with clean hands. Ayanda Dlodlo oversaw a collapse in the intelligence sector during her time in office and was central to the failure of foreseeing and preventing the 2021 unrest in KZN. Nomusa Dube Ngube, whose names keep reappealing in suspect appointments, was premier while state resources were quietly directed to the ANC-aligned networks. Their appointment serves no developmental purpose. They exist only to keep the syndicate well fed. Perhaps the most brazen example of the ANC's recent criminal consolidation is the awarding of the National Lottery operating license, a contract worth 180 billion rands, to Sizekaya Holdings, majorly owned by a Gold Rush consortium led by the ANC allies like Sandile Zungu and the ANC KZN businessman Moses Tembe. Additionally, the award was not without conflict of interest between the selection committee and the awardees. To the Minister Pakstau has defied several calls to account before the Parliament. So Tau said, no, I don't want to go to Parliament. I don't want any of you guys to ask me any questions. In fact, this deal has since been linked to the twin sister of the Deputy President, Paul Mashatilo's wife, Kumo Bukhashu, who is the co-owner of Bellamount Gaming, also a shareholder in Sizekaya Holdings. I mean, guys, the comrades are eating, man. The comrades are eating, guys. The comrades are eating. We are complaining about things like service delivery. These people are worried about billions and billions of rands. The National Lottery is meant to serve the interest of the poor and vulnerable, not to fund political agendas and enrich the families of the ANC leaders. Yet here we are, watching billions of public money handed over to a closed circle of insiders without shame or resistance. Even skilled development institutions, which should be preparing the youth of this country for a productive future, are not spared despite youth employment over 45% and the students continuing to struggle to get their dues from NSFAS. The ANC has recently attempted to appoint Gwede son and once again Nomusa Dube Ngube to chair the key sector educating and training authorities. These were not technocrats or experts. These are political royalty being planted in a strategic positions to guarantee the continued extradition of our wealth from the state far away from the public scrutiny. At this point, every institution that should serve the people is being turned into a front for a family enrichment, and this is more than worrying. Furthermore, while the country battles with hunger, rising levels of cost of living due to increasing prices of service delivery and taxes, unemployment and violence, the ANC is further preparing to burn 700 million rands on the so-called national dialogue, that bogus national dialogue. This unnecessary dialogue is an evident exercise in futility designed to create salaries for unemployed ANC cronies and political veterans who offer nothing. They have recruited eminent persons such as long-time allies Manidi Pico, Buti Nchalinchali, Ella Gandhi, and Numpumelelo Mkhatshwa, not to mention former racist National Party Roof Mayor and the mining executive Bobby Golson. This is not a dialogue for the future. It is the last for a dying elite desperate to eat what remains before they are permanently removed. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's revelations, therefore, not an isolated incident. They are the blueprint. The ANC has no interest in governance, justice, or economic freedom for the majority. Its leadership is entangled in a web of dirty money, state capture, and violent suppression of the dissent. I think this statement, man, it summarizes the ANC. It summarizes the ANC that the ANC does not have any interest in governance. They don't want to govern. They don't want to govern. But somehow, South Africans continue to vote for the ANC. They continue to vote for the ANC. Unbelievable, man.
When a country loses its ability to have a rule of law, it begins with the corruption of the entire criminal justice system. And the allegations that General Mkhwanazi made are not only limited to the police, but they move to the judiciary, they move to political principles, which means that ultimately the only institution, in my view, that is able to act is by the president putting together a special investigatory unit, which is what I'm calling for. I'm saying for the deployment of the SIU, so that we not deal with he said, she said. The second thing is we need to ensure that given the severity of the process, Parliament will be able to conduct an ad hoc investigation into this issue that's multidisciplinary in the same way as an interministerial committee would then follow on. I would argue that ultimately it will lead to senior, whether it is the Minister of Police or whether it is whoever else is implicated, having to vacate their position for a temporary period until we clarify these allegations. Because it puts the Minister of Police in a particular position where if the allegations are to be held, they are of a serious nature to suggest that he acted to protect other politicians by suspending crucial units, by ultimately making sure that particular directorates or posts were not being funded or filled. And therefore, this cannot be something that we leave behind. It is common cause that there are profound vacancies within the senior ranks of the police. And therefore, the call right now is that for an urgent proclamation by the president to put an SIU investigation on the table and let Parliament be finished with that report so that an ad hoc committee can consider it.
So this is what the leader of Build One South Africa, Musimeman, is saying, that the president should start an SIU investigation into these matters. And, okay, even if he does, but this is something that should be on the media consistently, because I feel like once the president says that we are going to establish a commission of investigation, we are going to start an SIU investigation into this thing, there's going to be another scandal, and South Africans would have forgot about what General Mkhwanazi has said. And the people that are targeting him, because obviously there are people that are targeting General Mkhwanazi at this point, they will be looking for the story to die down before they actually strike. So this story, somehow, it needs to find a way to be on the media consistently, because if it is not, then I'm sorry, the people of this country are going to focus on another scandal. And they are going to focus on another scandal. So this is what Build One South Africa is saying. So now, let's hear what the party of Bantu Holomisa is saying.
It is multi-pronged in the sense that we wish that the Minister of Police could firstly do us a favor, offer to step aside to allow the whatever investigations which are going to be put in place to unfold without undue hindrance. We are calling on the president firstly to...
But I think even if he steps down, he can still hinder the processes, man. I don't think that if Senzo Mkhunu says that, okay, I'm stepping down because I want these investigations to be done without me hindering the process, I think he can still hinder the process. Because he's there. He's part of those elites. He's there with those people. They are there. They are there. And him being removed from this position, it means nothing. It means nothing. He still has the contact with the president. He still has the contact with the executive. Like, they are friends, these people. So even if you say that, okay, this guy can step down, but it's not like it's going to stop him from getting his hands into this thing. And I don't think that these investigations that these people are calling for are actually going to yield any results, because General told us that these politicians are controlled by these criminal syndicates. And even if they try a commission of inquiry or an investigation or something, like, these people will be there. And this is what is frustrating about this thing. That even that process itself, it will be tampered with. And the South Africans, unfortunately, we may not get to the bottom of what is happening. We may not be able to get to the bottom of what is happening.
Which are going to be put in place to unfold without undue hindrance. We are calling on the president, firstly, to do some preliminary investigation, which will help him to determine the way forward. But while that is taking place, the minister should actually be allowed to take some kind of precautionary leave so that that investigation can unfold, as I indicated, without undue hindrance. The other one is the parliamentary process, which should be completely separate and independent of whatever investigation the president is going to put in place, so that Parliament itself is able to deal with systemic issues, deal with all manner of issues that might have led to these allegations, and consider what institutional measures can be put in place to prevent such incidents from occurring again in future. And our view is that the parliamentary process should not actually be focused solely on the SAPS committee. It should actually be an ad hoc committee. Ad hoc committees have proven to be effective over the years when it came to investigating.
Your reaction as a party?
I'm disgusted, but I cannot say that we are surprised. I think what is refreshing for us is that the fact that you have a SAPS member, a general, calling out other generals, may this spark sort of a trend within SAPS to speak out against their fellow SAPS members who are committing crime for years on end. We've had so many of these reports coming to the Portfolio Committee, and the only sort of punishment that they get is either they get promoted or they get moved to different stations, but we never see any outcomes. I'm not even sure at this stage if we're going to see a positive outcome, an outcome that will be pleasing to South Africans, because we know that the various task teams get deployed and that's where it ends. But I want to make an appeal to South Africans to keep their finger on this, as well as the media. We need to keep on pressing, not for statements, but for an arrest.
Let's anchor what you've said, Darlene, around reports coming in. People, instead of being punished, are promoted or rewarded for alleged wrongdoing. What do you have in mind when you say that to South Africans?
Just not so long ago, we had a policeman in the Western Cape who was caught with a state vehicle transporting drugs from one area to the next, and that police person was just redeployed to a different station. We've seen serious generals that has cases of pornography involving GBV being given transfers and sort of being rewarded for their crimes. So I am not too sure where this is going to leave us. We've had state capture that embroiled so many top-notch officials, bigwigs. Today, where has that brought us? Absolutely nowhere. But we've been waiting for this. Like I said earlier on, Iman, what is so refreshing about this, it's the fact that, because this is a never heard of before, this is a new precedent that's been set. You know what? For SAPS members to speak out against fellow SAPS members, this is refreshing, and I'm almost sure, and I'm hoping that a can of worms has been opened. We've seen a couple of weeks ago where several crime intelligence members were arrested, and I can tell you what was so shocking. Despite them being arrested, being granted bail, I actually saw a letter a couple of days later where the very person that was arrested then had an opportunity to appoint someone else in this position. So I'm not sure how that works.
So that is Action SA. They are also not impressed, man. They are not impressed. They are not impressed at all. They are not impressed at all about what has been happening. This issue, man, this issue. Oh, this issue is stressing, man. Like, this issue is stressing me, guys. I don't want to lie. This issue is stressing me. Because it's like a movie, man. Like, this is like a movie. I swear, this is like a movie. Straight from the movie scene. And I wonder if it's worth it for the general to actually put his life in danger like that. And I wonder if South Africans will actually do something. If something happens to the general, I wonder if the people of this country are actually going to do something. Because sometimes, you know what is happening in this country is that we've seen a situation where people put their lives in danger. And after putting their lives in danger, you would see, after something bad has happened to them, South Africans will continue with their lives as if nobody has actually put their lives in danger for them. They will go on with their lives. They will go on with their lives. So I wonder if this is worth it, what the minister is doing, what the lieutenant is doing. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. As much as I commend him. But then he's doing this for the people who do not even vote for the interest of their country. He's doing this for the people who do not even scrutinize the politicians and their political parties. He's doing this for the people who are actually okay. He's doing this with the people who are actually okay with what the comrades have done. Because this is what South African voters are okay with. And the fact that this country is literally on its knees, but majority of the people in this country, man, they like to act as if this country, they like to act as if things are not bad. They like to act as if things are not bad. So guys, I want us to go through a couple of comments again before we actually close the stream. I didn't think that 1 hour would actually pass so fast, but thank you guys for actually staying with me. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I will try my best to do these live streams. And like I said, guys, if you want me to continue doing the live streams, please hit that like button and press 1. And if you don't want me to do the live streams anymore, you can just press 2 and say that, Thomas, it's enough. Don't do these live streams anymore. Don't do these live streams anymore. So Thomas says that we can talk about the corruption in the ANC. And Mega says that there's an interview with the general on Eyewitness News. Let me see. Africa Skin says that I will vote for the first time if I see South Africans are serious next time, but I see one ANC yellow t-shirt, I'm walking away, minding my own business. Jay Willie says that AfriForum support land restitution more than the ANC, who does not really support land restitution, while the EFF opposes the land restitution. Jose says that Cyril, the absent president, will do nothing as usual. I mean, like, of course. Of course. Kerisha says that my biggest fear is for the life of the general. But General did say that, guys, me doing this, I'm actually putting my life in danger. So even if you are worried about my life, but understand that I understand the consequences of what I'm doing. And he said that he's not scared for his life. He's scared for the safety of the people of this country because he knows that the institution that he represents is very dead. He understands that. So Kerisha says that my biggest fear is for the life of the general. He said he will die for that badge, but we need him. We are being held hostage by a corrupt government who should actually be charged with treason. And Thomas says that I think Cyril is weak on purpose. And Chris says, what is the point of a border? I think everybody knows the point of a border. And M says that Ramaphosa have a debt on himself, or he would be acting responsibly and morally as the president. And of course, this is the reason why he cannot act. You remember that small clip of Batabile Dlamini saying that, yeah, you know, in the ANC, all of us, we have our little skeletons nyana there. We have our own skeletons nyana in the ANC. That's why we don't go as hard on each other. Because I know if you come for me, then I'm going to come for you. I know what you did in SARS. I know what you did in the Department of Education. I know what you did in Home Affairs. This is how the ANC people are conducting their meetings in Lutuli House. That you, Mr. Home Affairs, we know what you did in Home Affairs. And you, South African Police Service, we know what you did. And we know about that contract. You know that contract that you got. We know about that contract. This is how they communicate in the ANC. With threats. With threats. SGP says that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi already works in every province. Cyril should make him National Commissioner and Xolani of Sizokuthola his deputy. Unfortunately, we know that is not likely to happen. Of course, that is not likely to happen. JN says that, Ramaphosa is afraid of nothing. If Zuma, the kingdom of corruption, can walk free, then Ramaphosa is also not worried. Piggy says that the private sector could be hired to get rid of the road, but instead Mkhunu is trying to disarm them. Can you imagine? Malu says that just now we are blaming foreigners about crime. I wonder if these are so-called foreigners. Crime is crime. Colin Kosana says that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is showing Ramaphosa how to be in control, and I'm sure Ramaphosa is not his fan right now. Of course he's not his fan. Of course, they are not even happy about the kind of the press and the glory that the general is getting, the praise that general is getting, they want that praise for themselves, but unfortunately they cannot do things that can earn them those praises, and they are looking at someone who is actually doing something that is earning him the praises, and they hate that. I am sure the comrades are not in front of Ramaphosa right now. So Hazel says that Ramaphosa must act quickly or we will remove the ANC from power. They cannot be trusted with this behavior. And Rainbow Mama says that Cyril will be shocked to hear this and will ask, where is this? Our typical President Ramaphosa. Of course he will be shocked. Of course he will be shocked. And Eugene says that asking the very same president that is accused of corruption to investigate this matter is very stupid. Brett says that working hard on corruption so they can get promotions. Welcome to South Africa. Welcome to the motherland. Welcome to the motherland. Leela says that most likely to be another shocking moment for the president, of course. Of course, Outlaw says that thank you ANC thank you ANC. Eggs are now 27 rands for 6, 32 rands for 2 liters of milk, and 22 rands for diesel, and 25 rands for Lay's chips, 90 rands for real butter, and great going, you clowns. So this is what is happening in the country, guys. It is a mess. It is a mess. Rebecca says that Ramaphosa and his ANC, they don't care at all. We are here today is because of these people who keeps voting for the ANC. Of course, the ANC voters are the ones that are keeping us here. Of course, the ANC voters are the ones that are keeping us here. Zipta says that Ramaphosa won't act. The thieves in parliament have dirt on him too. Of course, he's not going to act. He's not going to act. So guys, please, man, please tell me what you think that the president is going to say and what you would like the president to actually do about this matter. So guys, please tell me about these things in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button. And I really actually appreciate doing the live stream with you guys. I'm happy that I got to do this first live stream in a long time. Then I hope that I can be consistent with these live streams because I can communicate with you directly. And guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. And you can disagree with my thoughts, it is fine, but please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time.